This is the 2018 Honda Accord LX. Brand new for 2018, the Honda Accord is looking to set a new bar for midsize sedans. This 10th generation model is hoping to capture back some of the people who have migrated to midsize crossovers over the years. So does the new Accord have what it takes to lure people back? Well, starting from the exterior, Honda is looking to get on the same board as a lot of other manufacturers with its fastback coupe appearance. The all-new design is sophisticated yet sporty and follows the same design language as the new Honda Civic. This LX model, which is the very base variant of the new Accord, starts at $23,570. If you opt for the highest-end touring model, your price tag will start at $33,800. The new design has a wide gaping grille and new full LED headlights and daytime running lights. This helps make the front of the car look more aggressive and commanding than the previous generation. You can also opt for a black grille, however this model is equipped with the standard chrome. Coming over to the side, the new Accord has sharp lines that stretch from the hood all the way to the rear taillights. This helps the vehicle look more coupe-like in its appearance. This is important as the new Accord will not be coming in a coupe variant, which, while disappointing, forced engineers to make this car look more streamlined and sportier than before. This LX model also comes standard with 17-inch alloy wheels, a nice departure from the old days of hubcaps that came with all base models. The rear of the vehicle is slightly less striking than the front, however still appealing with large taillights that extend into the rear deck lid and a built-in spoiler lip that helps the car in its sporty appearance. If you opt for the sport or touring model, then you will get integrated chrome exhaust outlets into the rear bumper, which is a nice option for those who are looking for something more refined. While appearance is subjective, I would say the overall looks are very premium and sporty, making the car look more expensive than some of its competitors. Under the hood, you can find two all-new engine options. The old V6 that everybody loved is now gone and replaced with an all-new 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo found in the new Civic Type R, however detuned for the Accord. This model, however, is equipped with a new 1.5-liter 4-cylinder turbo that produces 192 horsepower and 192 pound-feet of torque. This is up from the old 2.4-liter on the previous generation. If you opt for the Sport, EXL, or Touring model, you can purchase the new 2-liter turbo, which gets 252 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. Horsepower is down 26, but torque is up 21 from the previous V6. If you choose the 1.5-liter, you have two transmission options, a traditional Honda CVT or an optional 6-speed manual at no cost if you choose the Sport model. If you decide on the 2-liter, you can opt for either a CVT, a brand new 10-speed automatic, or a manual transmission if you choose the Sport model. This model comes with the standard CVT that comes with all LX variants. I would like to give a huge thanks to Ken Garff Honda, downtown Salt Lake City, for providing me this wonderful vehicle to review for you guys. Please check them out if you are in the area and curious about a new Honda. I have placed their information in the bio. Now, as for the interior of the car, it really is a nice place to sit in. The doors are very smooth and soft. They close pretty hard, and it feels like it's a very solid built machine. The interior has definitely come a long way from where Honda used to be on its interiors. Not that they were ever bad, but this is definitely feeling like a premium luxury automobile to an extent. I mean, it's just kind of crazy how far cars have come since the days of the late 2000s where everything was plasticky and cheap. I mean, this really does feel like a car above its class. And everything from the materials on the door panel, they're very soft touch materials. They're not hard plastic like you would find in a lot of, late 2010s Chevys, Hondas, etc. There are automatic windows up, down. Now this is the base model. This is the car that you would get. This is the LX. As you saw, it starts around $23,500. This model's around $24,500. But the LX starts at $23,500, and it comes with all of these features standard. That's why I actually picked this model, is because I'm really just shocked and surprised with how many features come with this car. So automatic up, down, you've got automatic mirrors, really soft touch materials, great door handles. You have this kind of faux aluminum material on the inside, but it doesn't look super cheap. It actually looks pretty nice and premium. Coming over to the steering wheel, it is kind of a hard rubbery material, but it's still very nice to put your 9 and 3 thumbs on the notches over here. It's really soft, kind of Really good hand placement is what I should say. It feels like a sporty steering wheel, which is surprising for a Honda. It's actually got some shape to it. It's got stuff that, I haven't seen on luxury cars with, all this driving assist features, voice activation, volume up, down. Now, this car does come standard with a lot of safety features. Again, like I said, standard. This is really shocking to me because on Mercedes, BMW, all those features, you have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars to get. And in this car, it comes standard. Coming over to the dashboard, you see it has half electronic, half analog speedometer. I really like how the car greets you when you close the door. It has this nice chime and it shows the Honda emblem. Now, the left-hand side is a digital screen, and you can go through anything from your safety and maintenance all the way to your tachometer and then your fuel range and your speed. So anything you really want on the left side. On the right side, you have your speedometer. It goes up to 160 miles per hour. And it's really cool to have kind of both the analog and the digital. It's cool to see both of those kind of mesh together. I think they did a great job. Again, like, it's crazy to see a digital dashboard in a $24,000 Honda. That's just crazy and mind-boggling to me. It's got a beautiful outline and like a nice white, cool color on the outside. Very beautiful. Coming over to the center display, like I said, you really do have soft touch materials all around the car, so that comes onto the dashboard up top as well. The center display is beautiful as well. It's a 7-inch on the LX model. If you do get the Sport, the EX, EXL, or the Touring, you can option to get the 8-inch model, but I think 7-inch is perfectly fine. You have, Bluetooth, you have satellite and radio if you purchase it. You have USB, anything you really want, it's got it all synced, and this is standard materials. On the climate control system, it's really cool. It actually changes colors depending on what temperature you choose. Just a cool little touch. It'll change, white, and then it'll go or red if you're increasing the temperature, or it'll be blue if you're decreasing the temperature. It's really cool, and all the buttons are really soft to touch and very premium feeling. Coming down, you have this cubby in the bottom section. You could easily fit a phone into. I'm not certain if they have wireless charging enabled. Definitely not in this model, but potentially that could be something you can opt for. It's also got a USB outlet and a power outlet as well. So that's nice to have down there as well. Coming over to the middle, you have 2 cup holders, and then you have your kind of a pretty soft, premium feeling dash armrest is what I should say. You also have the parking brake feature that's automatic. You don't have to pull a lever or anything like that. It's all automatic, and it has a brake hold function, which will hold you in place if you're at like a stoplight or on a hill. That way you don't have to constantly hold the brake. You can let go of it and the car will hold itself. But the center armrest is really nice. You've got a lot of space in there. You've got an outlet as well, so plenty of places to charge your phone, your accessories, whatever you need. And it's pretty soft. Coming over to the seats, they are a cloth material, but it's interesting. They're pretty soft cloth. It's different than I felt in other standard vehicles. The cloth is really soft, and it looks like it's going to be very durable. You have a lot of inner stitching between, and it really they kind of contrasted the seats. You have some cloth areas, and then you have some stitching on the sides. It does make it look a little bit more premium than just a regular cloth seat. Now, if you did opt for the Touring model, of course, you'd get leather seats and multicolored stitching, and that's all something, that I want to discuss in a different video, but in this car, it really does come standard with a lot of these features, and I think it looks great for what you're getting. Coming over to the back seat, you have plenty of space in the back. Honestly, this is probably the biggest I've seen in any mid-sized standard, sports sedan or sedan in general. The back seats have a ton of room. Me sitting behind myself, I have probably like a foot of space. So really for a road trip or just hauling people in the back, it really is a giant car in that terms. It didn't used to be this big. I remember when the Accord was a lot smaller. It was always nice. They always had really good legroom, but I think this has to be class-leading legroom because it is really comfortable and there's a ton of legroom in the back. Headroom, you have a ton of headroom as well. Very comfortable to sit back there. Now, Honda did opt for the sloping roofline, which is kind of interesting because you would think it would sacrifice on headroom and maybe make it a little bit tighter on the inside, but you really don't feel that when you're sitting in here. It feels like a pretty large automobile, especially in the back seats. You don't feel cramped at all. Now, Honda did increase the wheelbase of this car. It's a little bit shorter but the wheelbase is longer and the back seats have a lot more space. That's where they put that extra wheelbase length into, was the back seats. So you have a lot of extra space back there. So for your passengers, that's fantastic. Now, my first impressions on the interior is, again, shocked, because this is a standard LX model with no options whatsoever, and this all comes with it. But I really enjoy the feel of sitting in this car. It feels a lot like a coupe, which makes sense because for this 2018 model, they got rid of the Honda Accord Coupe. That's unfortunate for all of you coupe lovers out there, but this car kind of is like a coupe fastback type of style, and I think that's why they got rid of the coupe, because it's not necessary. You have, when you're sitting, you're kind of sitting pretty low in comparison to a lot of standard mid-size sedans. Your actual like chin ends at where the door window starts, so it's kind of an interesting setup. You're sitting pretty low, and you know, ride height, you can lift it, but this is a comfortable position for me. The doors are just going up pretty high, and you know, some of you might not like that, but it feels a lot sportier, and I personally enjoy it because it makes me feel like I'm in a faster car than I actually am. It's really cool because it kind of has the best of both worlds. You have a sedan, but you have a coupe-like interior, and I think a lot of automobiles are going for this. For example, the Civic, that car is pretty much very similar to this car in terms of design. You have this kind of fastback design where you feel a little bit more sporty than a typical, you know, standard sedan that you would see on the road. In addition, something I'd like to mention that I really like about this car is it's really easy to enter and exit the vehicle. So the ride height is really perfect, and it doesn't feel like you're falling into a small car. It doesn't feel like you're standing up because your car is so short. It really is just the perfect height to get in and out. It's almost you know, as easy to get into as like a crossover, which is surprising because in my car it's a little bit different. You kind of have to fall into it, whereas this car, it's pretty easy to enter and exit for people who, you know, sometimes it's difficult to get out of a sedan, so you wouldn't have to worry about that in this car because there is a lot of open door space to get out. Now for 2018, they have this smart key kind of technology on the LX. Unfortunately, it isn't, you know, keep it in your pocket, unlock the door. You do have to hit the unlock button to open it, so it's not like you know, easy access where you can just keep it in your pocket and unlock it. You do have to push the button. However, they have included a push to start feature, so once you get in the car, once it's unlocked, you can just put this in the cup holder or wherever, and you can just push to start. The key feels pretty heavy, pretty durable. It's actually a pretty nice key. There's no longer, you know, the typical old Honda keys that you would have. So let's get this thing started. So you just put this in the cup holder in your pocket, you push the brake button, and you push the push to start, and starts right up. Now, setting off in this Honda Accord, my first impressions are it's a little different than what I expected Honda to be. So, you know, I used to be a Honda CR-V owner. I used to drive a lot of different Hondas because, you know, it was one of my cars. I was an enthusiast of Hondas at the time, and I remember Hondas being a lot more rough, to be honest. Their suspensions were never very soft. That was always, in my opinion, Toyota's strong attribute, is that they had very soft cars. This car really is a departure from that. This car is very, very soft to drive. You really don't feel the bumps, and it really soaks up the bumps on the road, and you don't feel like you're driving an old typical Honda like you would remember. Like in my car, some of those bumps I just drove over would feel a lot worse than they do in this automobile. And that just goes to say the refinement that this car has gone through since this new generation model. Even on the screen, it shows you the speed limit. It shows you what the speed limit is for the current area. And you know, you have all these attention assist warnings. I don't even know how to use half of these, but it's really cool to have, because once you do learn it, this is all standard on an automobile that only costs about $24,000. So aside from the smoothness of ride, this comes with the 1.5 liter turbo engine. You can opt for the 2 liter turbo as well, and then this is probably one of the only sedans that comes with an optional manual transmission. Now the manual and the CVT in this car, it's the continuously variable transmission in this car, those are all the exact same price, so you don't have to pay extra money in order to get, you know, a certain type of transmission. That all comes standard in this car. So it's really cool that you don't have to pay, and that Honda gives you the option to have a manual transmission in, you know, a typical sedan. It's just kind of crazy. The cool world we live in. The Honda maintained its manual transmission. Now this is the automatic, of course, the 1.5 liter CVT, and it works great so far. Putting the car into sport mode, you can get 0 to 60 in 7.6 seconds, with the 2 liter reaching 60 in only 5.6 seconds. Overall, the new Honda Accord is an impressive vehicle with a large suite of standard options that include Honda Sensing, which is the company's suite of safety tech. If you are in the market for a midsize sedan on a budget, then definitely check this car out. Is it better than the 2018 Camry and other competitors? I'll leave that for you to decide. Again, huge thanks to Ken Garff Honda downtown Salt Lake City for providing this wonderful vehicle for me to review for all of you, and please check them out if you are in the area and curious about a new Honda. I've placed their information in the bio. Thank you all so much for watching, and please like, share, and subscribe for future content. I'll catch you all in the next video. Take care.